Okay, so the Guardian of the Galaxy game came out back in October of 2021, so it's been over a year since the game was released. And since its release, a lot of people have had nothing but good things to say about it, but at the same time, it underperformed as well. And I believe between, I guess, this game and the Marvel's Avenger game, Square Enix had lost somewhere around $200 million, and and I guess the loss was so like detrimental to a point where Square Enix ended up having to, I guess, sever ties with Eidos Montreal by selling them off to the Embracer Group back in 2022. And yeah, normally when it comes to like high profile video games, like a lot of what Square Enix put out is normally good, but a lot of those games also so happen to be within the RPG genre. Now, this genre right here is within the, action and adventure genre. And honestly, when it comes down to action adventure games, Sony Interactive Entertainment is like seemingly the best when it comes to making video games within that genre. Like, you look at the Spider-Man game from 2018, you look at God of War from 2018, you look at God of War Ragnarok from this past year, and you even have like Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment. They make really good action adventure games. Just look at Batman Arkham City and Batman Arkham Knight. When it comes down to I guess, action adventure, titles in general, that's something that Square Enix should probably do less of. And they should probably stick more to like RPGs in general. But as far as the game itself is concerned, Guardians of the Galaxy, there were more positives than negatives. I feel like the negatives mainly lied in the fact that the combat could have been better and the gameplay just felt, I don't know, it just felt limited in the sense where players could only control Peter Quill opposed to any of the other Guardians, such as Rocket Raccoon or Groot or Drax the Destroyer, which was kind of a letdown. But everything else was pretty, solid, like the presentation, the dialogue, the mixture between seriousness and humor, which that was the kind of vibe that I got when I saw the original Guardians of the Galaxy movie back in 2014. So I feel like they captured that vibe perfectly well. But I don't think we're going to be getting another Guardians of the Galaxy game anytime in the near future, at least not from Square Enix. But I do know that we're supposed to be getting a new Guardians of the Galaxy movie this upcoming month on May 5th, and that's something that everybody's talking about right now. And this movie is going to be the sequel to, I guess, the film that came out back in 2017, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And that film actually was a huge box office hit. It managed to earn over $863 million in revenue, and it was up from how much it earned back in 2014 when the prequel came out. The prequel, I believe, earned over $773 million in box office revenue. And honestly, I don't think I got a chance to really see the second one, but the first one, I loved it. And I heard that in the second one, Volume 2, I heard the villain Ego was better than Ronan the Accuser. And honestly, I'm just curious to see what the villain for this upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy movie is going to be like. I believe the main villain is the High Evolutionary. And based off of like what I've heard and what I've been reading online, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is supposed to be the, I guess, darkest installment of the entire series, or the darkest entry within the entire, I guess, movie series thus far. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm just anxious to see how well the movie's going to do in terms of box office. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be big. It's probably going to be one of the most popular movies of 2023. And I'm not exactly sure whether or not we're going to get another Guardians of the Galaxy film after this or not. But at the same time, I think it depends on how well this film performs. If Volume 2 did better than Volume 1, I feel like the anticipation for Volume 3 is going to be, I guess, enough to, it's going to be enough to maybe surpass that of Volume 2 in terms of box office revenue, because one of the reasons why Volume 2 was so big is because people had a lot of like anticipation on it being, bigger and more popular and being, I guess, a more improved version of what we got in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie from 2014. And honestly, I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy is definitely one of the best things that Marvel has going right now, next to Spider-Man, because it seemed like for the past couple of years, or at least for the past decade for that matter, it seemed like DC has been eclipsing Marvel in relation to popularity, in, I guess, video games and in film. But I do feel that like for the most part, like Spider-Man is actually more popular than that of the Guardians of the Galaxy series. But we're just gonna have to wait and see, how well this movie is gonna do from a box office standpoint, what people have to say about it, whether or not it's going to surpass its predecessor in terms of popularity, whether or not it's going to be darker, whether or not it's something that people will be able to sink their teeth into once it comes out. And honestly, I just can't wait until Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 comes out in theaters next month.